Yeah, it is an episode of the Autumn Windbags. RJ Clifford, Johnny Soto. Let's have some fun today. Apologies for the dark mystery setting on the road again. Not in Australia.
RJ's
The
in his
desk
race
is actually in Vegas. Yeah, they're in the illustrious penthouse in Las Vegas that they put me in. They actually there's a desk in this hotel, but there's no chair, so I'm sitting on a footstool. And I think it's giving me scoliosis, but that's how much we care about you guys to make sure we'll do this show no matter what. You're welcome. We care.
It's a step down, from what you're used to, but it's a bed. You don't have to share it with anyone.
They actually got me. I got double beds in case I want to go stack them on top of each other and do bunk beds. So I have all kinds of room for activities.
One's for sleeping and one's for jerking.
I like to wallow in my own jerk. You know that, Soto. I don't know. Well, as of right now, the Raiders still don't have a coach. Recording this January 28th, Wednesday evening, 8:23 West Coast time. Still no coach. I think it was, I forgot which insider it was. He's like, things are moving fast. You can imagine, I think by Wednesday, all coaching vacancies will be filled. Didn't happen. Close, all but two. And then there were two, just the Cardinals and the Raiders currently. And it kind of went how we expected, right? The kind of two of the three shittiest places potentially to go. We're yeah, hopefully the allure of Fernando Mendoza, Tom Brady's influence, we can get who we want. And we might there's still a lot of very good coaching candidates out there, but kind of played out how we thought. The Raiders, Cardinals, last man standing.
Yeah, it's you're looking at the place and you're looking at it with the respect of it's the two spots that have probably one of the more uncertain quarterback situations. Kyler Murray's gone. I think Brissett is out of contract. And look, with the lack of quarterbacks to come out this year, this should have been normally with the old rules, this would have been a stacked quarterback class, but NIL, the players are getting paid just as much money to stay as they would their rookie contract, or very close to. Why not stay and get better, right? And still get paid and live the college life still, right? So this should have been a lot better draft class than it is. But the way it shakes out, the Cardinals may have a lot more suitors than we think for Kyler Murray. But still, it's an uncertain situation. And even though Fernando Mendoza is going to be the first pick, it's still very uncertain as far as how he's going to translate to the NFL. And are the Raiders going to be patient enough for you to develop him, to get those bad years and bad plays out of the way? So yeah, it shook out pretty much like a lot of people thought it would. I think it was ranked two of the bottom three. I think at the time there was 8 openings, and I think we were number 8, and Arizona was number 6 or something like that.
Yep. So now it's just a battle between two people. So you look at who's been, and again, I still think the Raiders, there's quality guys out there. Now, if the Raiders can lure them to Las Vegas is a whole other question, but this isn't for a lack of potentially good starting quarterbacks or coaches. But and it wasn't that bad being in our position that we're at. Of the coaches that got hired, I didn't want Halfley, Minter, or McCarthy. Didn't care about them at all. I'm glad I didn't want those guys at all. The only that, and then there was guys that we had no chance of getting, right? Harbaugh, and there's guys okay, we're definitely not getting him. But the guys that we realistically had a chance to get, the only guy I would have wanted was Stefanski. Obviously, we didn't get him. But there's still 8 guys that I think would make sense. There's a bunch of vets. There's the guys that had been head coaches before. There's a bunch of rookies, and we'll get into each and every one of them and the chances of them making this happen. But we brought this up multiple times. This is go time for Tom Brady. Like, if you getting a screaming deal to own a piece of only 32 NFL franchises, and you got that screaming deal to make the football better, this is where you shine. If we don't get one of the several good options available, then it's like, what the fuck are you even doing, Tom? Because like, you're not going to suit up. You're not going to be a coach. You're not going to be an OC. You're not going to be in the building every day. This is like when there's big to be made. Number one over, time to hire a new head coach. Like, you're not in season anymore, right? Like, you're not broadcasting on Sundays anymore. You're not broadcast schedules free. If you can't deliver when you're needed to deliver most in the thing you should be the best at the time you have the most time and freedom to do it, then what the fuck are you doing? Then it was just charity giving you 5% of the Raiders.
Yeah, this is the time where Tom Brady has to project calm. He has to project confidence. He has to project a plan. It has to. He has the cachet with the coaching world and with the players and stuff like that. He just has to convey that this is all going according to plan. And if he can do that, he can get pretty much anyone to say yes.
So who's left? There's 4 vets, and then there's 4 first-time guys. Sean McDermott is reportedly taking the year off. I would absolutely love him, but reportedly he's just going to take a year off. Same as Mike Tomlin, reportedly taking a year off. Plus the Steelers still own his rights. So that's kind of a weird little spot. And then 2 wild cards. We've been over this. I know how you feel about Brian Flores. I know how you feel about Brian Flores. He interviewed with the Ravens and Steelers, signed an extension with the Vikings as defensive coordinator. I believe he would still take a head coaching job if offered, but he seems to be Raiders didn't even interview him, so probably not going to happen. And then obviously John Gruden is always the wild card every single season. He was offered like an assistant position with the Jets, which clearly he wasn't going to take. I mean, I think he would never come back to the NFL unless he was head coach. Do you think he would go to the Cardinals if they offered him a head coaching job?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he'd go to the Jets regardless.
Even head coach?
I don't think he'd go there. I mean, if the Jets would offer him, then that means other teams would offer him. But I mean, I don't think he even took the call. I think there was a story out there that he didn't even take the call. Like the team made the call saying, "Hey, we want to talk to you. We want to set up a time to talk." And he just hung up on him.
The Jets slid into his DMs.
That's what I heard.
The Jets YouTube account like left a comment on Gruden Barstool saying, "Hey, can you come? You want to talk? You think about helping us out?" Had him blocked.
Just blocked his ass.
So those are the 4 guys with head coaching experience. Anyone else with head coaching experience that you think there's like even a 1% possibility, or anyone you want?
I don't think any of those guys have any possibility. Any of the guys that you mentioned just now.
Yeah, they're all pretty kind of wrapped up in something else. And so then there comes the rookies, right? The standard issue. You're an OC or a DC or something somewhere else in a great organization with a lot of winning, and your side of the ball did well. How much of the credit is you? How much of the credit isn't? And can you actually be a leader of men, right? Like, that's always the dice you roll when you hire a new guy. And I think that's pretty much Kubiak, Webb, LaFleur, and Shula. What else you think that's on the radar to potentially get the gig?
I mean, they did meet with Shieldhouse, but I don't know if that's going to be. I think it's pretty much a 2-horse race right now. I think it's Kubiak and Webb. I think LaFleur is pretty close to the Cardinals job.
He interviewed again yesterday, but he hasn't gotten hired yet. So it's, yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah, I think he's pretty close. Yeah, I think that's pretty close with the Cardinals.
So
I think it's a 2-horse race, man. I really do.
Chris Shula is also kind of on the periphery. I mean, obviously he made headlines for like bombing the Steelers interview. I don't buy that shit. I mean, that's like everyone was so pissed with the McCarthy hearing that they're just kind of like, oh, we got to like do some damage control. So let's say that Shula just like sucked at interviewing, which may or may not be true, but I think that was a reaction to the McCarthy backlash.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not counting him out, but I'm with you. I think LaFleur's still kind of out there, but he's more tied to the Cardinals. Hopefully Soto. Hopefully it's between Davis Webb and Clint Kubiak, because if there's like a ninth guy out there floating around, like I don't know who it would be that I'd be excited about. Like I can't think of anyone outside of who's already been talked about that wouldn't just be an abject bummer of a hire, just like an out of the blue dog shit hire that we haven't talked about.
Well, Kubiak he's kind of the mix between the old style of a coordinator that you would want and also the newer, like he's still relatively young. He has no head coaching experience, but he's been a coordinator at a few different places now. He has had major success. So he's kind of like the more traditional path. And because, of course, the team is still playing, they're in the Super Bowl, that's going to be something that is be more attractive to maybe not only the Raiders, but the fans as well. And we're going to learn a lot on Saturday. Okay, that's when I was nervous, super nervous, because we requested an interview with him Monday. He didn't get back to us until Wednesday, till yesterday, or tonight as we're recording. He didn't get back to us until later in the day on Wednesday. So it's like, what was he waiting for? Why is he not sold on leaving? Does he want to just get a head start on next week's prep? What's going on here? And that kind of made me a little bit nervous. Like, does he really want the job? Because we can't sign him. We can't hire him anyway until he's done playing, which is after the Super Bowl. So that's going to be more than a week and a day after his last interview. I could give him a lot of time. We can do a handshake deal, but you've heard how those go sometimes. So yeah, we're going to learn a lot, because if Kubiak interviews Saturday, okay, and nothing else happens, it's going to be Kubiak. They're just waiting for him to play his last game. If Kubiak interviews and they want to go with someone else, they're going to hire someone else pretty quickly afterwards.
Right? Like the Cardinals, I feel like, are out. So if he wants to be a head coach, it has to be the Raiders. If he doesn't want to be a head coach, he'll stay as OC for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and staying with the Seahawks is a very real possibility.
That would be a real bummer. Very real. And that would be a giant. I mean, that would be very. I'm so fucking negative today. That would be a really bad look for the Raiders if, after going to the Super Bowl with an incredible offense that you can take a good amount of credit for, turning that quarterback's career around, turning Jackson Smith-Njigba into the best wide receiver in football. The run game was awesome. Like, there was no better time for an offensive coordinator to make the jump from OC to head coach than after this season with Clint Kubiak. It's the perfect time. Next season, quarterback regresses. There's injuries on the O-line. Offense stifles. A whole new group of guys come out, and maybe his star dulls a little bit. Like, that's a very real possibility. This is the perfect time for Clint Kubiak to become a head coach. It really can't get better, right? Especially if they win the Super Bowl. And if he still says, the Raiders' job is so shitty, I'd rather stay as offensive coordinator and risk having a bad season and hurting my stock. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's going to be the issue. Like, that's going to be exactly why we haven't got any good head coaches the last few cycles, right? No one wanted Pete Carroll. No one wanted Antonio Pierce. That would be yet another season, lesser job then come to Las Vegas.
I mean, it's a real possibility that Kubiak stays with, the Seahawks. He built something really nice. He wants to see how many times he can win, maybe. It's really tough to say goodbye when you build something and you leave after one season, right? He just got there, and they already go in the win or lose. They're already in the Super Bowl after 1 year. That defense is not going to take a dump. That offense is not going to take a dump. They have a really good defense and a really good offense. So these are things that you have to take into account, especially because, like, either way, there's going to be that itch. If they get there and they don't win, it's like, man, we can really come back here and do it again. We're so close. I'm going to do it one more time, one more go round, right? And if he wins, it's like, man, let's just do this again. Why would I leave this winning situation? Look what happened with Ben Johnson. Look, here are the cautionary tales, one side and the other, all right? Ben Johnson, he could have left a year earlier from the Lions, and he didn't. And the Lions made it to they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. They made it to the championship game. Really close game against the Niners. They lost, but it only raised his stock, right? So there's the Ben Johnson. But then there was the Bobby Slowik, who was the offensive coordinator for the Texans. He did an amazing job with C.J. Stroud his first season. C.J. Stroud was like, man, this guy is this is the dude. Slowik did a great job with him. And then the second season, not so much. And now he's not even being talked about. He's bouncing. I don't even think he's not with the Texans anymore. So those are the two things that can happen if either you stick around and you get a little bit more shine because you do even better, or you do the same. This guy has now you have a longer track record of success offensively as a play caller. But if things happen, if Sam Darnold gets hurt or he regresses back to some bad habits or whatever, yeah, man, it could be a rough situation. Now, as far as Davis Webb goes, if that's your dude, like I said it on my show, if you're Spytek and Brady, and you have an inkling that Kubiak isn't going to want to come, or he might want to stay or whatever, you can't BS around. You can't. You have to get your guy Saturday. If it's Saturday, if he's like, yes, I want to do it, I'm going to do it, handshake deal, whatever, let's get it done. If he convinces them, which is Spytek and Brady, if Kubiak convinces them that he's going to do it, then you stick with him. If he's waffling or whatever, there's only two answers to that question: yes and everything else. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm on board, whatever. Boom, let's do it. Okay, great. Anything else, like, well, who am I going to report to and blah, blah. No. Nope. There's too many doubts there. There's too much time. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. You have Davis Webb right there. Go and get him. But we have to have a lot clearer picture after the interview on Saturday. If not, then I don't know what the hell they're doing.
All right, that's everything you need to know about the current Raiders head coaching search. Short show today. Internet's taking a dump. The Decepticons are attacking my laptop, but we will keep you up to date on everything moving forward. Coach could be signed as early as Saturday, or another random, or it might be after the Super Bowl. Whatever it is, we'll keep you up to date. Sorry for technical difficulties, but that's the ropes. And until next time,
that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Hey, look at you making it to the end of our video. Congratulations. You can go ahead and click the next video, or if you're feeling wild, subscribe.